What is going on? Hunter can't keep his story straight about Dad bombing that debate.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Well, he should have just said Commander the dog ate his debate prep. That would have been more believable, because now the House Oversight Committee is investigating the former first son's claims that his dad was even on Ambien. During his jaw-dropping performance at the Trump debate, of course, Biden fell apart. Well, that's all it took, though, hearing about that investigation, for Hunter to amend his Ambien claim, telling ABC News, "I have no idea whether or not he used Ambien while traveling through multiple time zones in the weeks leading up to the debate. My point was that his debate performance was completely out of character then and now." Of course, that's ridiculous. He was completely in character from what we had seen for the previous 4 years. And while Hunter's blaming his dad's travel for the performance, he thinks he figured out the real reason why Democrats lost in November.
I will tell you why we lost the last election. We lost the last election because we did not remain loyal to the leader of the party. That's my position. He made the only choice that was left to him, which was either save the party or save himself. Mm-hmm. And he chose to save the party. Do I think that he could have won? I think that he could have won.
Oh, and he's basically saying his dad's a hero. He stepped aside. But then he talked about disloyalty.
James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars.
Oh, he strafed all of them. Here to discuss is Ned Ryan, American Majority founder and CEO. The only thing better than, watching, someone like a Hunter Biden just make stuff up on the fly is watching the Democrats eat their own in the aftermath of the carnage that is still being diagnosed, Ned. Why does this interview matter? What does this tell you about the state of the party?
Well, first of all, I think we need to be fair. I'm not sure how many lines of magic dust Hunter took before that interview, but it was probably more than one or two. And it was still the most coherent interview given by a Biden in the last 5 years. So we should be fair to Hunter on that point. But yeah, no, this is insanity. That was crazy town. If he's saying those things in public on video, what was going on behind the scenes at the Biden White House when he was there? Because, not only was he flaming all of the Democrats by name and between his F-bombs, he was talking about invading El Salvador and bringing back the MS-13 gang members, and at one point basically spilled the beans on the recipe for crack cocaine. And, the interesting part is, the Democratic Party is begging and pleading for the Bidens to exit stage right. But I would remind people, let's go back to the primary of 2020, in which the Democrats colluded and basically manipulated those primaries to get Biden the nomination so they could use Scranton Joe as the Trojan horse to take out Trump. And now that they're done with him, they are desperate for them to go away, but they're like the undead. It's like Revenge of the Undead. You want us gone, but we're back, and we're not going away.
And Ned, some of the Democrats that Hunter trashed, they've responded. Watch.
No Democrats who called me said, "Man, I'm glad to see him out there again."
Hunter
That
Biden.
is not Hunter Biden. That is not productive. It may be cathartic for him. It's not very helpful for the party that wants to move forward, not back.
If I was in a room with him and able to talk rationally, I'd just be like, "Hey, man, look around the world. Look at what's happening in this country right now. Like, I know you're angry personally, but you're not the f***ing victim here."
Oh, Ned, boy wonder there is mad. I mean, lots of other things are happening. It's convenient because he doesn't want any responsibility, because all these guys were out there vouching for Joe Biden's cognitive skills. All of them covered for Biden. They wound him up and they sent him out and they wrote his stuff. But now they're like, "Oh no, it wasn't us. Don't look at us. Let's move on."
It's beautiful karma. I mean, this is, again, the rigging and the manipulating and all the games they played in 2020, and it's coming back to bite them. And they want to move on, and they can't move on because the Bidens aren't going to let them move on. And I hope that Hunter Biden gives long-form interviews, 3-hour interviews every week, because of the destruction and the fracturing that you'll continue to see inside the Democratic Party, which is a beautiful thing in my mind. They have been a cancer. The Biden family and the Democratic Party writ large have been a cancer on this country. So I couldn't be happier to see this quandary that they have gotten into of their own volition, of their own making.
Ned, always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.